Christians been doing. I used to preach myself. I found out I was crooked and quit.
Damn, Studi, this is
I lost my way. Been feeling off today. Even in crowds, I'm all alone, so I thought to pray. I ain't really had the words, but you know my heart. Supposed to be closer, but we growing apart. The code of my art, wanna show 'em I'm smart. Music with messages don't go on the charts. Could've sold my soul, but no, that don't go in the cart. Tryna figure out where to go, I guess sober's a start. Always grinding, it's supposed to be hard. Just trying to keep the faith and stay attuned and try to tune out what the people say. Sometimes my conscience give me grief because I made mistakes. Get overwhelmed and overcompensate, won't take a break. I wear my flaws for all to see, hoping that they relate. Thought taking a leave would've brought me peace, that's why I gave it space. I can't stay away, just figuring out what to say. Step by step, day by day, amazing grace. Righteous path, don't mean that I don't like the lad. I wanna make a joyful noise for all the nights I was sad. Open my notes, I'm typing fast, caught this despite my past. Forgave my father once I realized that I'm just like my dad. Can't say I'm without sin, end up getting stoned again. Tryna put away childish things and focus on atonement. Reason why I'm on 10, cause me I don't vent. Tryna quit cold turkey, black sheep don't grin. Grown sense.
You know, I have everything in my life that I ever wanted through my addiction. I have it now. Through recovery. Motivate to achieve abstinence. Honesty. Openness and willingness to change. Identify and escape and accept the powerlessness. Identify your personal lifestyle's changes and be willing to carry these changes out. Develop coping strategies. Address the triggers. The trigger is the thinking.
Lord, let me forgive, never let me forget. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You want beef with the king? What is you gonna do? This is another episode of Hood Tales with ConeHead coming to you live and direct, early bird edition. Episode 274. And we're gonna talk about this YSL trial. Boy, this YSL trial show you how corrupt this judicial system is, really how corrupt this country is. The YSL trial is basically, if you haven't been paying attention or haven't been watching, it's basically about a rapper named Young Thug out of Atlanta, and he had a little record label, little group called YSL, Young Stoner Life, you know, this, that, and the third, and as if you've been paying attention, it's been going on for like 2 years now, and it's out of Atlanta, Georgia, and these young men, it was 27 people indicted, and it was all based off of an individual named Lil Woody. And Lil Woody basically was saying that he made up a lot of the things that he was telling the police and the detectives just so he can get himself out of jail. And he put it on Young Thug, so they base everything off this one person's statements and stuff. So they indicted him on state charges, not federal. And them boys been fighting it ever since. And if you've been paying attention to the court and watching the different court dates and things, they like in day 121 or something like that, 121 days. This trial has been going on, and it's sad to see how you had a judge on there in the beginning, Judge Glanville. He basically was working with the state attorney's office of Georgia to get these guys convicted. And he did everything he could to try to, basically interfere with the trial. Like, the attorneys would, present different arguments and things, and he would just overrule everything. So basically what he was doing was setting it up so if these boys got convicted, they can come back on appeal based on the errors that he made, but he was not going to try to change anything. Then they had this secret meeting, which was illegal, but he tried to say he could have been, he was supposed to be in the meeting. But a judge can't be in a meeting with a witness. And he basically was coercing the dude, Lil Woody, to testify. And basically they threatened him on top of that, saying that if he don't testify and if he do admit to something that they know that he already said he did, that they would lock him up until the trial was over, because he's supposed to have immunity. But it shows you how corrupt the government is. Like, these dudes, these officers and these attorneys, these state attorneys, didn't even do their homework. They didn't even investigate. They didn't do nothing. They just basically took somebody's word and they just ran with that shit because they wanted to get Young Thug, because basically Young Thug was a young black millionaire. And so he had got a joint venture deal, and once he got the joint venture deal, he basically trying to get all his partners out the street. He trying to have everybody doing music. Even Lil Woody, they was trying to help Lil Woody get out the streets. But, Lil Woody was doing whatever he wanted to do. Now, it's amazing to see how these lawyers, like these high-paid lawyers, Brian Steele and all these other guys, and still, ever since Steele cross-examined Woody basically mad with the state, with the prosecution, because they did a lot of underhanded crooked shit. But that's how they work. Like, they tell you they gonna do this and do that for you, as long as you down they scheme. And a lot of times they be lying. And a lot of times the people who they have as witnesses, shit, they know people scumbags, but they don't care. It's just like I was talking with my cousin Rob Jigga, and I was just like, man, it's crazy how when John Gotti was alive and he was out in the streets, he beat the system 3 different times. And they was mad because they said one of the times he cheated. Like, they paid a juror not to, go along with whatever, and he was the foreman, so he ended up getting some money or whatever. But, the funny thing about it is, it's like, they can play dirty, they can fight dirty, but you can't. Like, it's funny if you ever find yourself in a situation like this, let me tell you, the police is paid to lie. And that's called good police work. That's called being a good detective. The police can lie to you, but blatantly lie to you, and that's good police work. You can't lie to the police. You can't lie to the courts. That's called perjury. And they can put you in jail or prison for that. But you see how the balance of justice is? When you're on their side, they have all the resources, they have all the money, they have everything they can to get you convicted. But it's sad that when you try to be slick and do sneaky shit, they try to throw you into the jail for that shit. But they need to rewrite a lot of the policies, because some of the shit that we dealing with in the justice system, man, that shit all the way back in the 1800s and shit. And it's just fucked up that these men been sitting in jail, no bond, can't get out, all this shit, just because they thought they scared somebody into helping them. And then when Buddy, only reason why he was doing it was because he was trying to get out of jail. He just didn't want to, he kept getting arrested for all kind of shit, and he just got tired of that shit. And then when he realized, like, when he decided he didn't want to play their game no more, they got mad. So what they did was they knew the streets. They wanted this man to get handled through the streets. So what they did was they leaked a lot of his interrogation videos on social media. Now, no one else has access to this shit except for the police and the state attorney's office. And they actually leaked this shit because the man didn't want to go. He didn't want to follow through. Once, like, he did all that lying and making up stories on these people just to get himself out of trouble, never thinking that these boys was gonna go to trial. And this is why it's key. If you ever find yourself in a situation, fight it all the way to the end. Because see, they're so used to people copping out, taking time, or finally cooperating and joining the dark side. And when they do this, they promise you all these different things, but then as soon as you decide to back out and you don't want to do the shit, then they come for you. They put you in harm's way. Like, they put this man and family in harm's way. This man had people shooting at him and his wife, his baby mama, and his kid when they was leaving the house one evening. And that's fucked up because as long as you down with them, they act like they your best friend. They act like they really there to help you. But once you turn your nose up at them or decide like, man, I ain't doing that, then they come all assault. Like, it reminds me so much of my criminal case to sit here and watch the police lie, to sit here and watch the prosecutor sit up here and coerce the detective to say this and say that. Like, them boys had a full script with that cracker, and he actually got up on the stand and was lying and got caught in his lies. See, if you have good attorney and they really fighting for you, like Brian Steele Judge Glanville told Brian Steele he was gonna have to do weekends in jail. He was holding him in contempt, and it was fucked up because this man is an attorney. So Brian Steele was like, well, shit, if y'all gonna lock me up, can I be in the cell with my client so we can work on our case over the weekends while I'm doing this jail shit? And you've never seen corruption on live TV, live. Like, this case is all over the world, and every day, like, it's something new that get exposed. Like, it's so bad that the two DAs that's actually the prosecution's ones working the case, man, it's so bad. Like, yesterday was horrible. Like, they got so exposed yesterday how they was down there begging this man to do this shit, and the man kept telling them, no, I'ma just take my lick. They telling this man he looking at 40 years, he ain't gonna get out to, or he looking at all this time, he wasn't gonna get out to. He was 48 years old. Just anything. They lie to you. They tell you anything. They use, like, this is what we don't understand. Black people are so naive because they'll sit here and let these people use fear to make you act right. Use fear. Like, even with the presidential election shit, they using fear for y'all to vote for Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris ain't black. Her daddy is Jamaican and white. Her mama is Indian. She is not black whatsoever. And it's sad that they're trying to scare black people, talking about Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, so y'all can vote this woman in who locked up more black men and put people in prison and had parents arrested for truancy shit. This one black lady got arrested because her daughter had sickle cell, and she didn't care. She talking about it worked, but it didn't. That she had this one guy that was in jail in prison for a crime he didn't commit, and he sat in there, and they had the evidence to free the man, and her staff that worked for her and herself didn't even. She was happy when the man got convicted. She was in the courtroom smiling and laughing. But don't be fooled by this corruption, man. I'm telling you, this shit fucked up. But like I say, do your homework, do your due diligence, and I'm out.